welcome to the Tabletop Nights. My name is Victor. Today we have a really cool unboxing in Dice Throne Adventures. Now, I know we have a lot of Dice Throne fans on this channel, so make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment who your favorite Dice Throne character is. The more engagement these videos get, the more Dice Throne content we're going to do. Last plug as well is now we have memberships as well for $3 Australian a month, or even less in American. You can become a member, and it supports us greatly so we can keep getting awesome games and better gear like that. But also you see exclusive content and whatnot as well. So maybe there'll be some Dice Throne exclusive stuff, most likely. All right, let's unbox this bad boy, shall we? All right, first things first, I'm going to get into this big box. I have some extra stuff on the side that I'm not going to unbox quite yet. I want to get straight into the big one because this is what I'm really excited for. There's a lot of components in this game. I have played it on Tabletop Simulator once. There's a lot of really cool, really pretty components. But just quickly, before you continue watching, there are going to be spoilers for what's in here. Just know that. So if you don't want to see the components, you don't want to see the minis, stop tuning in right now because I'm going to be having a pretty thorough look at what is in here. Also, if you want to see Dice Throne Season 1 re-rolled unboxing, that's already on the channel, so go have a look at that as well. Ooh, wow. Very easy to open these. You know, sometimes the boxes just get stuck and you can't open it. Look at that artwork. God, I would love a poster of this somewhere in my house. That is awesome. So what is Dice Throne Adventures for those of you that don't know? So Dice Throne is usually like a battle. You know, you do 1v1 or 2v2 or, 1v1v1. Dice Throne Adventures is a co-op game where you use the Dice Throne characters in a sort of dungeon-esque co-op game. So it is really cool as well. Very easy to learn. If you know how Dice Throne works, you'll know how Dice Throne Adventures works pretty easily. All right, let's have a look. So we have the rule book. Now, I wonder if this covers how to play Dice Throne normally, or if this is just specifically Dice Throne Adventures. Surely there's a decent bit of crossover. Maybe it does say at the start, you must know how Dice Throne plays. That, I don't know. Hate reading rules? We've got you covered. Watch the video tutorial. So go do that if you hate reading rules. But I'll definitely be reading this all day today to learn it, to get content out to you guys as soon as possible. So, rule book. Doesn't seem too complicated. One thing I really like about Dice Throne is they explain things with pictures and big bold lettering as well. So now you know where the minion step is. It's quite easy to find because they use bold lettering and whatnot. Campaign scoring sheet. So you've got that there. Session 1, Session 2, so on, so on, so on. Then you've got it on the back as well. So you might be able to print more of these off, or you can submit your campaign score to compare it to other groups. Then we've got some advertising there. Looks like we've got like a place to store your pills. So if Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, your Valium, your other pills there. Now, so this is obviously for tokens and stuff, a token tray. I'm not sure if you would store your tokens in there permanently or if you would just place them there just while you're playing, but we'll see later on. I'll keep that open. Maybe I'll place some in there. Then we've got, by looks of it, quite a lot of tokens here. So these will be more of the same you'll have from the core sets. So like your battle boxes and whatnot. So I can already notice you've got evade and bounty, entangled, knockdown, stuff like that. Then you've got a few extras that I'm not 100% sure if they're exclusive to Dice Throne Adventures, but I think they are. Then you've got your attack modifiers. So this one here, for example, is a +3 to attack. So when you're attacking an enemy, you can add your +3, which you get from looting and stuff like that. So there is a loot system in the game, sort of like Diablo. Every time you beat a baddie, you roll a die, a d20, and depending on what it lands on, depends on what treasure you get. So there is quite a bit of variety. Then we have this token here. What is this one? I'm going to have a quick look in the rule book. This one here is the King's Hand. So there's meant to be 11 of these, so I'm sure there'll be more deep in there. First strike. So some enemies have first strike. So when you first activate them, they take an attack on you first. Standard sort of tokens there. Then we have some more complicated ones. So this one is called a hex token. Looks like a number 6. Then we've got like this one's like a puppeteer, so dominance token, like a little man being puppeteered around. So very cool. And the art in these games are always exceptional. Then you've got obviously more tokens, and they've always popped out really well with Dice Throne. The tokens, I've never really had any issues with tearing or anything like that. Maybe in season 1, but they seem to have fixed that pretty quickly. So some standard Dice Throne tokens. If you're here, you've probably played Dice Throne before, so you know what the standard tokens are. Then we have some more of those King's Hand tokens, and now we've got like sort of the cardboard cutout minis, I guess you can call it. So let's have a look at a close up of some of these. So what I really like about Dice Throne Adventures as well is they sort of just expand on the lore a little bit and more art for the characters that we already love from Season 1 and Season 2. So here's a different perspective of the Barbarian. So these will probably go on little stands, I assume. The Treant, which is a new character for Season 1 re-rolled. Or you can get the battle box separate if you wish. I forget what this guy's called. But he's there too. And then we've got the Paladin. I really do love the Paladin. Very underrated character. And you've got one for every character of Season 2 and Season 1. So you can play any character that is your favourite and you can easily put them into this game, which is one of the big draws, is you can really bring your previous Dice Throne collections into this game, which I really loved. Then you have your portal pieces. So once you've collected these, a new room will open up and you can go fight the boss of that scenario, for example. So you have to collect 3 of these each time. All right, that is the pop outs. We'll pop out the Seraph here for you because that's always a really cool one. Again, just different artwork of the same characters, but it's always good seeing the new art for the characters. I hope to get my hands on some so that we can have some epic thumbnails for the videos. All right, this is quite a big box. I really love the game trays they use in Dice Throne. Even in the standard boxes, they use beautiful trays. All right, there's quite a bit of stuff in here. So this is a beautiful piece. So this is the shop, essentially. So shopkeeper leaflet. So like I said, you have common loot, rare, epic, and legendary cards that you can get when you do roll that D20. And also you get them for completing tasks as well, I believe. Then sort of like Diablo, you can identify those cards and add them to your deck. So it is a bit of a deck builder as well. Which is great. So you'll have your standard sort of Dice Throne cards, and then you can add more in as you loot stuff. So that's the shop card. And looks like you've got a little bit of history about the character on the back, perhaps. So that's really cool. Beautiful, beautiful shop card. Absolutely gorgeous. And there is, again, so there is a loot system, so you do get gold and stuff. So here's that loot system from before. So as you can see on the left here, it has the level of rarity. So when you defeat a monster that has a 4, for example, you would roll a d20, and whatever you roll, the higher the roll, the better the reward. So very small chance of like a legendary item by the looks of it. But I really did love this loot system. You do roll that D20 quite a lot, so it'll be good to add your own D20 to the game if you have one from D&D that you really love. So that's something you can do. Looks like we've got some... I probably won't spoil these, apart from the one that we all know that is in the box already. So this is the Fallen Barbarian. We've seen the art for it before. He's on the front cover of the box. So this is a boss tile. He's got concussion and stun, just like he's normal barbarian, right? He has concussion and stun as well. So then you've got your frequently asked questions, AI rules. So they perform in a different way to us. So I'll try to find an example. Yes, so let's have a look at the Fallen Barbarian player board, right? So this is what he does. He'll have ways that he moves. So when he's going for a small straight, you're obviously rolling for him if you're playing solo. If you're playing with friends, your friend's obviously rolling for him. So there's ways that Roxley have made it so that you're not being dodgy and being like, oh, I'm going to keep this, even though the odds are slimmer. They sort of do teach you the odds and how to roll properly. So that's very important. And again, I'm not going to spoil anything else because there's quite a few, just on the side here, there's quite a few sheets here as well. Oh, you know what? I did say at the start of the video that I'm going to spoil some things. So again, if you don't want spoilers, look away right now because I want to have a look at these. I want to have a look at these right now. So if you don't want it spoiled, look away right now because I'm going to show you some of the other bosses that you will encounter in the game. So first we have the Fallen Gunslinger, which I guess is the male version and the fallen version of the Gunslinger. Very cool. Doesn't have a passive ability, so maybe not as many evasives as reload. Sorry, as the normal Gunslinger. So that's badass. Then we have the Fallen Barbarian, the Fallen Monk. Again, the art in this game is next level amazing. Seriously. So happy with every component in these games. And then we have the Mad King. So that must be maybe the grand boss fight. And then obviously you had the player boards, which I wasn't showing you before. For those, so they all have their own abilities. I guess they would be similar to what their non-fallen duplicates have. But yeah, that's what we have in there. We have the boss fights for the game. So I'll put those back in. Very awesome components. Very happy with that. And again, super easy to pack away. You put that back on the tray and you're ready to go. All right, next box. Well, that's a big one, so we'll get this one instead. All right, what is in here? Looks like we have some dice. So we have health dials for your actual for the enemies that you'll fight. There we go. So you'll have the health combat points. This is the combat point. Then you have the health on the back. So I guess you have one of each. So same thing. So you would just use which one you want. I don't think these are necessarily specific to the character. I mean, it can be. They obviously have pictures. So this one does have the Fallen Barbarian on there, but you don't have to use this for the Fallen Barbarian because it's the same health regardless. So yeah, quite cool. Really cool. They don't rotate too easily because when you're holding it like this, you're holding the cardboard together, and so it doesn't rotate easily. So you have to sort of have a loose hand, but it's not that big of a deal to sort of. You'll get used to it. So you've got 4 of those rather. So double-sided, 1 CP, 1 for health, and then you have the gold counter. So this is for your team. Each time you get a piece of gold, you just add 1 to it. And then you can use that gold to buy more equipment, more upgrades and stuff like that. These are the stands that you'll need for the characters. So I'll open that up this. Now I did get the minis as well. That's coming later. So, but if you didn't get the minis, this is your standard sort of stand, and that'll move around the board. But I did get the minis. I went a little bit extra and got the minis because I love minis. But I got the painted minis. So I'll show you in a minute. I'm pretty excited for that, to be honest. And then we've got, so these are the universal dice for the bad guys. So first you've got the 4 D20s. You have 1 each and you roll them whenever you roll for a reward. Not sure if you use these for anything else or if this is just specifically for the loot. So yeah, I just rolled a 13. So we need 13 new subscribers from this video. Then you have your standard dice for the enemies. So every enemy will roll the same 5. And there's obviously 10 of these just so that you can split them up among the players and roll for each other when you're versing certain enemies. So that they go back. They've got sort of like a scratch on there. Yeah, standard, like a stun and like a red loot thing. Cool. That's that box. So we had the health dials, the combat dials, and the dice for the enemies. And this is all the cards in here. Ooh, this is a big box. All right. So we have Legacy Pack B. Do not open until instructed to do so. So we'll not open that because I don't want to spoil it for myself. The rest isn't spoilers. They're components. Come on, let's. We're all adults here. I gave you guys ample warning at the start, so if you're complaining now that the spoilers, it's your fault. No. Alright, so there's quite a bit of cards here. They're quite thick as well, so I wouldn't say that these are your standard cards. These are the map tiles. That's what these are. Alright, so what happens is basically you'll start a scenario, and it'll tell you what to put out. So we'll have a look at the above camera. So it'll tell you to put out 2 1s, and then it'll tell you we have to put a 2 there. And maybe 3 there and a few more 1s around. Then you have the maybe that's where the boss fight is. Then you have your portal where you begin. So you just go through the tiles, flipping them as you get there. So this one here doesn't have any enemies on it. This one here does. It has an enemy, so you would fight the enemy. And then once you defeat the enemy, you get the loot and whatnot. So you just keep going through. Obviously 2 are 2 difficulty, and then 3. And then randomly across the board, you'll have the portals, the portal pieces of the die to unlock the boss fight. And then you flip that and off you go. So the boss portal. Let's get some close-ups of these tiles, though, because they are all quite different, and they're different locations in the Dice Throne lore, I assume. So here we have the Ivory Thicket. Let's get some nice, beautiful close-ups. So it just says that there's a level 2 monster. You get 2 gold when you land on this, I believe, and then you and a chosen teammate each gain Backstrike and Wither. So Wither's bad, Backstrike's obviously a good thing. Then we have a purple tile here. This is the Everglades. So again, so much art in this game. Absolutely beautiful. So this one's here gained 3 loot chests. So I think maybe you would roll your loot die 3 times. Then we have, what are these? 4 tiles. I actually haven't seen any of these yet. So a 4 tile. Valley of Bones. So again, 4 difficulty monster, 2 CP, a hero, so things like that. So it is a dungeon crawler. I would think of it sort of like a Diablo, because there's that sort of loot. And there's so many tiles here. How many tiles do we get? 70 environment tiles. So you have 70 different ways. There's 70 different tiles and endless ways that the maps can be laid out. So maybe you can create your own games as well. Not sure if that's something that people will be doing, but probably they probably will. The Dice Throne community is a very creative community. Then you have the Crimson Sands. This is where you start the journey, and then you have the boss portal. So yeah, they're the map tiles. Very, very standard. Not standard. Very thick pieces of cardboard. They won't be bending or anything, or they won't be flying away or, bowing. When they bow, when they sort of rock on the table, they'll be very easy to sort of set up and whatnot. You don't have to sleeve them or anything like that. They're very thick. Put all these back. As you can see, they go away quite easily. God, we've got a lot of stuff here. Look forward to sorting this out a bit more. All right, we'll keep going. These are the turn cards. So boss battle turn order, and then you've got boss versus boss, whatever that means. We'll look into that when we play a bit more. What are these? These are the dividers. So you would have them sort of in here to divide. Oh, they fit in perfectly. They slot in, and then you would use them to divide. So this one of the purple loot cards, for example. More of this character. You've got one for the Fallen Gunslinger, so his cards that he would use, I assume. Then you've got the different levels of the loot, which is important to keep them separated so you're not accidentally drawing the wrong thing. And looks like we've got quite a few of these. One for everything that you would need, and then you've got your stock standard Dice Throne Adventures one. So that's cool. That's awesome. I really like that. Really, probably the most creative dividers I've seen, because they actually slot into the box and they don't really move that much, which is always a bonus. All right, then we have many cards. So we have a deck for each of the bosses. So we'll just get one for the Fallen Barbarian. We'll get him out and have a look at his. Don't need to look at the other ones until we fight them. All right. So he's got, Refresh, Coffers. These seem very exclusive to him. Coffers 2, Black Spring. Does he have any standard cards? 6 Fusion. Doesn't look like he has your standard Get That Out of Here and Vegas cards. They're exclusive to him by the look of it. So every card is exclusive to him. Then he obviously has his quite a few upgrades for him and for his defense roll, and he has his dice modifier cards and whatnot. So he doesn't look too complicated or anything like that. Then we have this massive deck of cards, which I assume are just like loot cards and whatnot. Oh, wow. Holy crap. This is a spoiler. This, not a story spoiler, but an item spoiler. This is a legendary card, so the L card. It's holographic, so I don't know. Yeah, you can see that on the camera there. That is that is something I did not know about. I didn't really look much into Dice Throne Adventures just because I knew I wanted it, so there was not much point. So it looks like you've got, yeah, these are all the legendary cards, and they're all holographic. So Falcon. So I'm gonna get some proper close-ups. Hold on, let me find. This one's cool. Codex 4. So you got the holographic there. That's badass. Damn, I wonder they're so rare. I wonder how many. There's 30 legendary cards. I'll leave the rest for you guys to discover because I don't want to show too many. But you know they're there now. You've got the common cards. So I'll just quickly show you how they work as well if you're interested. So you've got sort of like your upgrade cards when you upgrade your abilities. You've got level 1, 2, and 3. So your base is level 1. So this is get that out of here too. So if you looted this card, you would then have to reveal it. What the hell is that? You would then have to reveal it, and then once you've revealed it, you can add it to your deck and replace your get that out of here with get that out of here too, which is just a little bit better. Obviously, it's an upgrade. So that's where the loot comes in. You roll, you get coins, you can buy more cards, you can identify cards with the coins, or you just if you're high enough, you literally just unlock cards. So that's awesome. Let's have a look. So Transference 2, Vegas Baby 2, which is still got 0, What status effects, and then they've got some things like Angelic Boots. So that's a unique loot card. They're not all just upgrade cards. They've kept it pretty interesting. You've got some equipment as well. So it's an actual equipment card. So whenever your defensive ability is activated, you get to prevent 1 damage. So this is something you would have to draw and then use to equip it. So very cool. And then obviously you've got the same for the rare cards. 81 rare cards, 31 rare cards, and 31 epic cards, which are the so try again 4. So very cool, very badass. So you've got 140 loot cards all up, which I think is hectic, absolutely hectic. I look forward to really delving into that. All right, we're almost there. Actually, we've not got quite a bit to go. So we've got Legacy Pack A. Do not open until instructed to do so. So I won't be opening that. Then you've got Legacy Pack C and D. And obviously we had the Legacy tiles over here as well. Then you've got more dividers. So this is for the levels of monster. So you have a divider for level 1, 2, 3, and the 4 monsters. Again, they'll just sort of slot in somewhere, maybe in another tray, and then you can use it to separate quite easily. Cool. And here's another one here for the scenario separator. Very cool indeed. Then we have the actual monsters. So we've been talking about, when you reveal a tile, you fight a new monster. Here are the different levels. So you've got level 2 monsters. So you've got the Scoundrel, for example. So he'll have, so he only goes for small straight or a large straight. And again, in the rulebook, they'll explain to you how you actually go about him trying to get those. Because you just, I'll keep the 1 in the 6 and roll again. That would be cheating. So they teach you how to actually roll properly. He has a passive ability. He'll have a health of 14 and he starts with 5 CP. And he has a defense roll as well. But yeah, again, his roll objective is straights. And when you defeat him, you get 2 chests. So that's for a level 2 monster. Then we've got your level 3 monsters like Chaos Knight. I'm just going to quickly show you some of these. Succubus. Crush Him Golem. Like, there's so much art. Every piece of art is completely unique, which is astounding. There's so many. How many monster cards are there? There's 52 minion cards. So that's 52 unique pieces of artwork. That is very impressive. That's just in the monsters only. That's not on the cards. All the cards have their own artwork and stuff like that as well. Then we have the scenario cards. So again, this is what I was explaining before. So it'll show you how to lay out. So this is scenario number 1, Portal Crawl. So it'll show you it's laid out. And obviously your objective is to unlock, get all the portal pieces and go to the boss fight. You can avoid, you don't have to explore every tile. Again, it is sort of like Diablo where you can choose where you want to go and explore what you want to explore. So there's quite a few of those, and then you've got more complicated ones the further you go into it. So I look forward to really playing this game and doing a few scenarios for you guys. And then you've got the legacy packs, which I didn't want to spoil. And now that's it in the core box, okay? So not that that's it. That was heaps of content already. Now I've got some extras here as well. You got premium sleeves, so 168 sleeves, 42 per boss. So it'll have a pack for the Fallen Gunslinger. Then you've got the Fallen Barbarian, the Fallen Monk, and then you've got the Mad King as well. So sleeves, these are bonuses. Again, I'm not sure if everybody gets this, if these were stretch goals. I don't think I paid for any extras. All right, cool. So we have a promo pack as well. So you get 3 more legendary items. Man, I really love the holograph on that. It's a good touch. Really good touch. So more equipment, more cards here as well. So that's the promo pack. Always love a little promo pack. Oh, this is awesome. Holy crap. You've got some promo pack minions as well, which are also holographic. That's exceptional. Maledic Maiden. Well, they're all holographic as well. So that's quite impressive. And then finally, we have 2 boxes of miniatures, right? So we have the Season 1 minis. Where did I put my trusty knife? There it is. Which includes the Monk, the Pyromancer, the Paladin, the Treant, the Barbarian, the Shadow Thief, the Ninja, and the Moon Elf. Season 1 Dice Throne miniatures. I really look forward to having a look at these. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, I really wasn't expecting to be this well painted. Oh, I'm so glad I paid for them to be painted. Look at that Treant. Let's get a character out that we're all a bit more familiar with. How do you go back in? There we go. Let's have a look at the Paladin. Looks exceptional. Look at that. The paintwork's really beautiful on these. That's awesome. You know, a few splotches there, but overall, great work. Moon Elf. That's sick. Ninja, everyone's favorite ninja. She's on a burst of cloud. These are awesome. Barbarian is a statement piece. Look how big he is. Nice and wide. Ready to attack with his he's got two weapons. And then everybody's favorite Monk. Everyone likes the Monk. So that's Season 1. Put that back on. And then we also have, finally, the Season 2 minis. So that include the Samurai, the Artificer, Gunslinger, Vampire Lord, Huntress, Seraph, Curse Pirate, and the Tactician. So I do, actually, Tactician's the one I forgot before, but he's probably going to be the one I use other than the Barbarian for Dice Throne Adventures, because he's a very co-op person. He really helps his mates out, so that could be really good for him to use. God, these are so nice looking as well. You've got the Samurai here. Very cool. The Huntress, which a lot of people don't rate highly, but I've always thought she was really quite strong because she does have the little tiger. It's a shame there's not an extra mini for the little tiger. That would have been cool, but a little unnecessary. One of my favorite characters is the Gunslinger, with her pose of having both the guns out. That's pretty awesome. Artificer, he's the size I thought he would be, smaller than the rest, but I love his color scheme. He's got the orange and the blue. Seraph. The swords are meant to be bent because they're like what do they call it? Charists, maybe? I'm not sure what they're called, the bent swords. Exceptional. Then we've got the Tactician. Very royal. He looks like a a guard. He looks like the guy from Street Fighter a little bit too. Well, I forget what his name is from Street Fighter, but that's it. Wow, that was very overwhelming, especially those holographic cards. Absolutely amazing. But there will be plenty of Dice Throne adventures and normal Dice Throne on the channel, especially going into 2021. We plan to do a Dice Throne competition. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give the video lots of love as well. We appreciate all of the support, and we look forward to seeing you in the comments in our future videos to let us know how we're going, and to let us know how you guys are going with Dice Throne Adventures and who your new favorite characters are, with the train and the ninja included and stuff like that. All right, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, see ya.